And there's a good chance that after our time together, you probably have a laundry list of things you want to tackle when you get home. And that's really great. But one of the things, and the first thing that we want to focus on, is how do we prioritize that list? If you go home and try to tackle everything that you want to handle, there's a chance you might be a jack of all trades, but being a master of none, we're not so sure about. So instead, we suggest that you choose 1 to 2 goals. So think about those 1 or 2 things that you want to work on first to really have a major impact. Now here's the fun part. If you're choosing 2 goals, one of those goals has to be a strength you want to continue to work out. It's like I've said all our time together. If you ignore those things that you're good at, they're going to get weak. So sure, identify something that you want to improve, but also if you're doing 2 goals, make sure one of those goals is a strength you want to continue to get better. And once you're able to choose 1 or 2 goals, our next idea is all about making it public. The research shows us that it's helpful if you think about your goal, and better yet if you write your goal down. But when you have accountability partners, you're even more likely to succeed when achieving your goals. So choose 1 to 2 goals, make it public, and then ask for feed forward. Feedback has to do with what we've done in our past. Feed forward is a little bit of a future tripping idea. Something that I'm going to tackle, and I'm going to get advice or suggestions from people. And it's also an amazing tactic to start permeating this knowledge through the organization. You get to ask suggestions or advice about something that you want to get better at. So when you think about that thing you want to get good at, identify the person in your class or organization or wherever you're working that's the very best at what they do. And ask them for some feed forward. Ask them for some advice or suggestions, because people like to share their wisdom. And then you can take this back home and do the ask for feed forward 3 times over 6 months. Identify 4 or 5 people in your developmental network that you want to share these goals with and make it public. And then you get the opportunity to say, hey, can I get some feedback on how I'm doing, and also some feed forward about how things are going. You have that conversation with each individual in your group 3 times over those 6 months. And that's how you start to integrate these learnings into your organization. The first couple of times might be a little weird. The 3rd time, they're going to be a lot more ready for you. The 4th time, oh, they're going to have some feedback for you. But that's when you flip the script a little bit. And you said, well, now it's my chance to see if I can give you some feed forward and maybe even give them some feedback. So you get to model this behavior with these people, and then at the end of that 6 months, you ask them to do the same with a group of 4 to 5 of their peers. And before you know it, you have all this information moving through the system. So choose 1 to 2 goals, make it public, ask for feed forward, advice or suggestions, do that 3 times over 6 months. And then the other thing to help add to your accountability is make it visual. We talk about making your goals public. We like the idea of making it visual and visible. Can you have some kind of imagery that articulates what you want to work on? And the last step to make all this real is what we call our 48-hour action plan. The research shows us, and maybe your own anecdotal evidence will tell you this too, but if you don't start to make moves to make this stuff happen right away, the odds of you making it happen aren't going to be that high. What are you going to do in the next 2 days to realize these things? Actual steps that you're going to take to turn this into reality. I'll even give you the weekend. What are you going to do on Monday and Tuesday to make this a real thing? The steps that you can take to realize your 1 to 2 goals.